Welcome to Streaming Into the Voids, What's New in Streaming, where we discuss the highlights of what's available for you to stream the week of November 18th. I'm Kim Hollis, and with me are Raul Buriel, Tim Bridey, and David Mumpower. We'll start with Hulu and Spellbound Season 1B coming November 20th. This tween fantasy series is set at the Paris Opera Ballet School, where a ballerina discovers a book of family spells that unleash magical mysteries into her life. Next up on November 21st is Obituary Season 1.
There is a 24-year-old named Elvira Clancy who adores her job writing obituaries, but lately she's been feeling unfulfilled, probably because she's writing obituaries. So when her newspaper falls on hard times, her boss tells her he is unable to keep her on the payroll. Overnight, she finds herself being paid per obituary, even if she has to kill off the town's unpleasant residents to keep herself in print. It's a murder-for-hire plot.
Wow.
There is zero chance, I forget whether 24 years old is still millennial or Gen Z, but there is zero chance anyone in those cohorts is named Elvira.
Also, happy holidays, everyone.
Also on November 21st is Fargo Installment 5.
Installment 5.
Mm-hmm.
The latest installment of Fargo is set in Minnesota and North Dakota 2019. After an unexpected series of events lands a seemingly typical Midwestern housewife in hot water with the authorities, she is suddenly plunged back into a life she thought she had left behind. This season stars Juno Temple, John Hamm, and Jennifer Jason Leigh.
And our final new Hulu release is Cypher coming November 24th. Tierra Whack rose to fame rapping on a Philadelphia street for a YouTube channel. Years later, while documenting her astronomical rise, questions arise about who is filming whom and whether being seen is a desirable and unavoidable part of fame. We move on to Netflix and Stamped from the Beginning coming November 20th.
Yes, this is based on the award-winning bestseller by Ibram X. Kendi. This is a story that uses innovative animation and expert insights as a documentary form to explore the history of racist ideas in America.
Yep, that book is very well known, and I expect the documentary to actually have some good attention. November 21st brings Mike Birbiglia, The Old Man, and The Pool.
On the heels of sold-out runs on Broadway and in the West End of London, Birbiglia takes on life's big questions. Why are we here? What's next? And exactly how much chlorine are they putting in the YMCA pool?
I hope enough. We have a new movie coming on November 21st titled Leo. Adam Sandler is a lizard named Leo in this animated coming-of-age musical comedy about the last year of elementary school as seen through the eyes of a class pet. On November 22nd is High on the Hog, How African-American Cuisine Transformed America, Season 2.
Chef and writer Stephen Satterfield breaks bread with cooks and scholars while exploring Black cuisine's history and flavorful contributions to America.
Also on November 22nd is I Don't Expect Anyone to Believe Me.
Juan Pablo Villalobos travels with his girlfriend Valentina to study for a PhD in literature in Barcelona. I'm not saying it the other way, Raul. But before he leaves Mexico, he gets involved in a criminal network, which inspires him to write the novel of his dreams, while his life takes absurd and sinister turns.
Our final new November 22nd release from Netflix is Squid Game: The Challenge Season 1. 456 real players will enter the competition show in pursuit of a life-changing reward of $4.56 million as they compete in a series of games inspired by the original show, plus surprising new additions. Their strategies, alliances, and character will be put to the test while fellow competitors are eliminated around them.
There were no survivors.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
What type of eliminations are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm. And what surprises?
Yeah, this is horrifying, but I know we're making jokes, but this is just, come on. They killed people in Squid Game, and now you're making an actual reality show out of it. Come on.
They get twice as much content this way. It's business.
Yeah, this was quite something. And it'll probably get a lot of attention, as will Love Island USA Season 3 coming November 23rd.
Oh, come on. I have to read this?
Sorry.
All right, fine. The hit British dating show lands in America with a new group of singles who pair up, break up, and do more for a chance to win cash and love. I think I might prefer Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Can we unite the two premises?
Now there is
That's
an idea.
an idea. Yes.
Get Reed Hastings on the phone. Next up is My Daemon, coming November 23rd.
In this gorgeous anime, a kind-hearted boy and his tiny Daemon friend set out on a journey across post-apocalyptic Japan to save his mother.
On November 23rd is My Little Pony, Make Your Mark, Chapter 6.
I can't believe this abomination has lasted 6 seasons. Opaline has captured nearly all the power of Equestria, and time is running out. Can the ponies team up with the dragons to save magic and restore peace?
November 24th brings the Swedish limited series A Nearly Normal Family. The world of a seemingly perfect family shatters when the daughter is accused of murder, proving that they're willing to make desperate moves to protect each other. Also new on November 24th is DOI Boy, or DOI Boy, whichever one is correct.
A refugee builds a new identity as a sex worker in Thailand and gets caught up in a client's risky scheme that might lead to a better life. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
All right. Frybread Face and Me is a movie coming on November 24th.
A Navajo boy from San Diego experiences a cultural awakening when he spends summer vacation with his precocious cousin and their relatives on the reservation.
Last Call for Istanbul will also debut on November 24th. A chance meeting at the airport leads two married people to an unforgettable night full of excitement, desire, and temptation in New York City. It's like a Turkish Hallmark movie. All right, next up is My Daemon, Season 1, not to be confused with My Daemon, which we mentioned earlier.
Oh, come on. This one's about a demon who's lost his powers and is forced into a contract marriage with a devilish heiress. The two are forced to collaborate, but sparks of romance begin to fly between them as they embark on this journey together. Now, this one is like a Korean Hallmark series with the demon.
Yeah, I actually saw the trailer for this one and it looks kind of cute. So there you go.
So you're on team My Demon over My Daemon?
I think I could probably be on both teams, honestly, there. Also new on November 24th is Replacing Chef Chico, Season 1.
In Netflix's first original Filipino series, when a head chef falls into a coma, it's up to his devoted sous chef to keep their fine dining restaurant from closing down. I hope this is a comedy.
I think it's real.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Our final new Netflix release is Wedding Games, coming November 24th. When Alex and Eva choose to exchange vows at the very spot they first cross paths, a series of hilarious missteps derails their journey to the altar. We did learn late on Friday the 10th that Blue Beetle will be making its streaming debut on Max on November the 17th.
Yeah, DC took a shot here with a character that's fairly obscure. However, it does turn out that by most DC standards, this is a pretty good movie. And honestly, it's probably better than what Aquaman 2 will be. However, Aquaman 2 will probably make at least 2-3 times as much box office because it's a built-in one, even though it's terrible. So that's where we're at with DC. Awful. And we'll just reboot it again a little while. And at some point, the only reason people will watch this is because it'll eventually wind up on Netflix.
We move on to Disney Plus and The Naughty Nine, coming November 23rd.
This adventure comedy follows precocious fifth grader Andy, who, upon waking up to no present from Santa Claus on Christmas morning, realizes that he must have ended up on the naughty list. Determined to get the holiday present he feels he was cheated out of, Andy assembles a team of 8 other naughty list kids to pull off an elaborate heist in the North Pole to get gifts right from under Santa's nose. Danny Glover stars as Santa, and I have to say, this actually sounds pretty delightful to me.
Mm-hmm.
I bet all the kids learn a valuable lesson in the end.
I bet they do too.
Or Santa buries them.
I was going to say, or maybe Santa learns a valuable lesson in the end.
I mean, if you think about it, Santa is pretty judgy by nature.
Yes, he is. We move on to Paramount Plus and Good Burger 2, coming November 22nd.
Oh, man, 26 years in the making. Dexter Reed and Cashier Ed reunite at fast food restaurant Good Burger with a hilarious new group of employees.
It's back, apparently. All right, on Peacock, we have a host of Hallmark movies and another thing, starting with Navigating Christmas, coming November 18th. Recently divorced Melanie and her son Jason visit a remote island for Christmas, only to find themselves running a real working lighthouse where she connects with the curt but cute owner. On November 19th is A Merry Scottish Christmas.
When estranged siblings Lindsay and Brad Morgan travel to Scotland at Christmas to reunite with their mother Jo, a big family secret is revealed. This stars, I kid you not, Lacey Chabert and Scott Wolf, who also played siblings on the 90s series Party of Five.
And it's not a Hallmark holiday season without Lacey Chabert, so
That's
we're
right.
good.
Yep.
This isn't like a Game of Thrones thing, right?
No, he's her brother.
Yeah, so were the Lannisters, Kim.
That's not how they do in Scotland. All right, November 20th brings Holiday Hotline.
After leaving London, Abby connects with an anonymous caller while working at a cooking hotline. The caller is single dad John, who Abby unknowingly has become smitten with in real life. That just sounds creepy.
It does.
I'm pretty sure that's just the plot of Sleepless in Seattle.
Okay, November 23rd brings A Season for Family. Maddie's adopted son Wesley has just one Christmas wish: to meet his brother Cody, who was adopted into a different family. Cody's father Paul is a widower who is not ready to have this conversation with his son, so he turns down a meeting. However, circumstances bring the two brothers unknowingly together, and they become fast friends while sparks fly between Maddie and Paul.
All right, I know that this sounds ridiculous and derivative, but I'm also going to say this with total sincerity. These are the storylines that when Hallmark does them, they generally turn out to be the best Hallmark movies, legitimately.
And here's our final Hallmark movie of the week called Catch Me If You Claws, coming November 24th.
An aspiring anchorwoman who's finally getting her big break on the Christmas morning newscast encounters an intruder in her home who claims to be the son of Santa Claus. I have a question. In what business is the big break to be airing a Christmas morning newscast?
And none. Nobody
All
watches
three
the
viewers
Christmas
are
morning.
just complete. Right.
Yes, no one watches that. All right. Next up on November 22nd is Genie.
Back in 91, there was a little British TV movie called Bernard and the Genie. It starred a very young Alan Cumming as Bernard, a down on his luck guy who happens to find a genie at Christmas time. It was written by Richard Curtis of Love Actually fame and also starred Rowan Atkinson, and I loved it. But it came and went and no one ever thought of it again until Peacock decided to remake it with Melissa McCarthy as the genie. Papa Sidhu takes on the role of Bernard, whose wife and child have left him and who's lost his job. Can a zany genie change his luck? I mean, yes, that's the point. Yes.
I'll tell you that I would love to get my hands on the original because Richard Curtis and Rowan Atkinson means, Blackadder, and I love them together. So, yeah, I would love to see the original, but I don't see a way to watch it.
I'm in the same boat. I love them. I watched Blackadder, when it was being imported from Britain and airing on American television for the first time. I can't believe I'd never heard of this, but this would have been after Blackadder. So that's a really fascinating story and just incredible talent.
On Amazon Prime Video is Bye Bye Barry, a limited series coming November 20th.
When NFL superstar Barry Sanders vanished at the height of his career, he left the NFL world in shock. He was still in his prime, chasing the all-time NFL rushing record when he boarded a flight to England and never stepped foot on the field again. Now, 24 years later, Barry retraces his steps through the streets of London to finally confront the mystery. I didn't realize there was a mystery behind this. I thought he just was yeah, I'm good. And then, even though he was still absolutely amazing at the time when he retired.
I mean, he basically did the same thing that Calvin Johnson did for the same team a couple of decades later. There wasn't a mystery per se, but they are going to show what a complex, nuanced man he is and what a free thinker he has always been. And hey, Kim, who is the greatest running back in the history of the NFL?
Well, it's Barry Sanders, of course.
Is it even close?
Nah.
Mm-mm.
That's why I married Kim right there.
Okay, our final new release of the week is the Miss Universe pageant coming November 18th to the Roku channel. Women from around the globe vie for the Miss Universe crown in the quote-unquote magical host country of El Salvador. The evening culminates with the current title holder, Urbani Gabrielle, crowning her successor. Well, this week I think I will be watching, Fargo, because we've watched all the series of Fargo and they are always entertaining.
And I will unashamedly be watching A Season for Family, and I will not be watching Catch Me If You Claws because, Hallmark, you need to know your target audience. My goodness.
So go watch something.